Okay, for the second part of lab 1, like I said, we're going to go in there and put in these cutouts and the 4 holes. And really there are some shortcuts here that we can use to make life a lot easier on this particular exercise. The first thing we need to do is create a 2D sketch on this face right here. And there's my X and Y coordinate system. And I can go in and look straight down on that if you would like it that way. You don't have to, but that's just one option. Okay, so then what I'm going to do, I personally like to put in circles instead of arcs for these particular characteristics here. So I'm going to go in there and put in a circle. And I'm just going to look, it doesn't matter where I locate it. Done with that, and I'm going to put in some lines. Now, I want that line to be tangent, and there's my tangency. But it didn't do it, so there you can see the tangency there, and there's going to be a tangent there. And I'm not sure about this first one, so I'm going to go back in, create constraint of tangent, and if I pick it, pick the circle and pick the line, if it puts it in, then I know it wasn't tangent. If for some reason I pick those two and it was tangent, it will give me this this little warning up here. Hey, it already exists. You can't do that. So I find it easier just to go ahead and pick them and check them. So we're all squared away on that. Also, you can hit the F8 function key, or you can right click and hit show all constraints. And it shows me now that, hey, that circle and line's constrained, this circle and line, and their tangent, this circle and line, and this circle and line. Right click, hide all constraints. Okay. Once I get that done, then I can trim out this portion of this circle and this portion of the circle to make arcs. You can hit the trim key up here, or note you can hit the X on your keyboard. Doesn't matter. The trim command works a little bit different than your regular AutoCAD in the fact that as long as there are some lines and things that intersect, if you touch that particular object where you want it to go away and click it, it will go away. So I just have to click it, move on, and that's done. I'll right click, done, or I could hit the escape key, it wouldn't matter. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is put in some dimensions. Now I can dimension the center of this to the edge over here. That, it says, is 0.625. So I can locate the centers of these things from the edge here up to this point is 0.75. It's pretty close. Then if you want, you could, let's try this. It may already be done. Nope, it's not. So I'll go 0.75. And these lines then should be horizontal. Then the other thing I need to do is put in a radial dimension. Doesn't matter which one I do here, but it's 0.375, I believe. And note, this one grew and this one grew. If I go in there and try to put that back in, well, it's going to allow me to do it. Okay, and I've got one more thing that looks like one dimension needed. I need to go from this center point here to that center point there, don't I? And that value is going to be 1.3125. And my part is fully constrained. So I'm going to hit done for the dimensions and finish the sketch. And again, I'm going to rotate this around so I can see where it originates. And then I also need to know that this thing actually extrudes down into the piece 0.1875. So I will extrude. I want this piece right here. Obviously that's the wrong direction, so I'm going to cut, not join. And I want that to be 0.1875. Everything looks good there, so I'll rotate that around so you can see it a little better. And I will hit OK, and I get that cut out like I wanted it. Now, at this point, I could just array this up, if you will, and I could have arrayed the original sketch up while I was in the first sketch. But I think it's better to get as much as you can done and then array those at the same time, because I do have these two holes, and these two holes in that slot look exactly like these, so then I can copy all of that. Now the holes themselves, let's see, we got 4 times the diameter, 0.4375, so I got 4 holes that are 0.4375. They go all the way through, and they're concentric to the original circles that I put in. So I'll go into the hole command. I don't want linear, I want concentric. The first thing it asks me for is the plane. Well, I want this plane right here. Then it asks me for the cylindrical face. Now I can pick that arc, I can pick this face, or I can pick that arc, doesn't matter. It automatically centered it up. Okay, I want it to go all the way through. And the diameter on that is 0.4375. And we'll hit OK. Oh, I didn't get my numbers in there. Okay. That's good. Now, when you're putting in holes, put them in as holes. Do not draw a circle and extrude it down. The information that we need for this drawing, if you put it in as a hole, it remembers it as a hole, not as an extrusion. Therefore, we can put the symbols on there like they need to be with one simple move on the 2D portion of this package. Hole number 2, we might choose to name that 0.4375 hole. Okay. Well, I need another one of those holes over here. So I could have put in another hole using the same command, or I could use a rectangular pattern. The feature I need is just that hole. So I'm going to come over here to the left in the browser, pick that hole. Direction 1. Now all I'm doing is telling it, do you want to go to the right or to the left? So I can pick any of these lines and it will do the same thing. However, in this drawing now, you can see the arrows pointing in the wrong direction. So I'm going to have to flip the direction. Flipped, and it says the spacing between the original and the new one is 1 inch. Well, that, I believe we need that to be 1.3125. And you can see it highlight over here with the preview, so I'll hit OK. And I've got another hole there. Again, I want to hit the save button. Once I've done that, then I'm going to take all of this and copy it up here. To do that, I'm going to do rectangular array again. And I'm going to pick the features, which would be from extrusion 3 down to the rectangular pattern. So I click this with my left mouse button. I'll move down, hold the shift key, and click the rectangular pattern. And I get all 3 features. The direction is going to be any line that goes vertical here. Not sure I got it. There we go. And it's going the right direction. You can see the arrow here. And I must